What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I thought I'd give you guys my thoughts on the Samurai of Storms event. At least that's what I'm calling it, considering it's Haramaru and Nakaruru, who are going to be the big dogs of this update, especially after you test both of these characters. As you guys saw in the live stream, or at least some of you saw, I got pretty damn lucky. I was able to actually A1 both these characters just in one pity. I even have a selector still left over, which is actually pretty damn awesome. So let's talk about everything that we have. So the first thing that we have, guys, is the check-in login event, which is pretty damn lit, right? We got all of our rubies right now, and we're going to be able to get some dice, which we'll talk about here in a little bit for the dice game, and we're getting some more of these tickets, which is actually really, really good. Now, some of you guys are wondering, why isn't the Carnival here? Why isn't the other characters here, like Shermie, Keo, Cronin, Angel, all those characters? They're coming on the 24th of this month, so it's just around the corner, so don't worry, they are going to show up, but yeah, still pretty cool. And then we get out of here, and then we go into some of these other things like the dice event. Now, in the dice event, I was actually pretty disappointed when I looked at the rewards. I mean, yes, you can get a BS and SS Fighter Summon ticket, and it does have all of them in here, which is really great. The problem, however, is it's by chance that you're going to get the character that you want. You might have one of these characters already at A5, or maybe you just don't even want the character. It really would have been better if this would have been a selector for all of the BS or SS fighters. That would have been slick. If this would have been a selector, I think that the value of it would have went up quite a bit, because a lot of players, including myself on my free-to-play account, are going to look at this and be like, don't really care. If I get really lucky, get the character I want, like say, for example, for me, maybe Leona, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But the chances of you getting the character that you want out of all these BS and SS characters are slim to none. I mean, you might get them, and that's pretty awesome if you do, but it just sucks that it isn't an actual selector. It really wouldn't have been a big deal if Netmarble would have made this a selector. In all reality, let's be honest, EX characters are the ones that shine. So yeah, it's kind of funky. And then when you look at the rest of the rewards, guys, it's honestly no rubies. I mean, it's pretty lackluster. Honestly, with this dice game, I could care less if I finish this or not, which is sad to say, because usually the dice games are actually really, really good. But I mean, some people are going to really like this. But I personally think it's good, but it definitely could have been better if they would at least put some rubies in here, at least made this a selector at the minimum. That would have been way better. Now, how do you acquire dice? Well, you're going to get 500 dice every single day that you log in, and you're going to be able to get dice from the Rush Dungeon. Not the tower, not the tower. Well, actually, from the tower, you can get some dice, right? But you're going to have to be able to, going to have to have Nakaruru and Haramaru in order to get it. And you can get some extra dice in here. But again, the rewards in the dice game just really aren't that good. So it kind of blows donkey butt in all reality, my friends. And then you go to Samurai Storms, and this is where you can actually get dice as well. It's a one-time reward. You get 200 a day from the first stage, and then stage 2, you'll get another one. And I'm pretty sure for stage 3, you'll get another one. So you get 600 a day. You'll get 500 a day from the login. I don't know if the login 500 days is going to be for all the days of this event, which is 19 more days. But there again, guys, the rewards just aren't really that good. And since we're already in the Rush Dungeon, you can go into the exchange shop. This card set is okay, but in all honesty, guys, especially when you look at the other card set that's in the banner, obviously it's going to be way, way better. It's still a good set, right, for the Samurai characters. It does increase attack by 21%. It does give increased physical damage by 75%. It does increase attack by 22% for the Samurai fighters. It's only going to be specifically good for Nakaruru and Haramaru. It's a decent set. Love the retro look, obviously. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Well, not obviously, but obviously for me, right? I just love it. Then, of course, the same old typical rewards that we've come to expect in these Rush Dungeons. Whoops, didn't mean to click on that. And then you go to the crafting event, right? And, of course, guys, you can get the stone here, which has, this is only for Samurai fighters, critical damage. I mean, these are only going to be good for the Samurai fighters. And then this one here is going to increase critical rate. So really, either way you go, guys, you're going to get a really good stone for CP, whether you want critical damage or critical rate for these characters. And then, of course, you got the badges as well that you can queue up. Then you have the event codex. And this is actually pretty interesting when you read these. So the stones that you can get from these guys is, whenever you take one of them to A1, you're going to get the extra critical damage, which is definitely nice. When you take them to A2, you'll get the decreased enemy defenses by 30% for 5 seconds when Extreme Fire lands a finisher skill. So this here is like the first of its kind, and definitely for Haramaru and Nakaruru, this is going to be very, very OP for them, because when you look at their kits, you can definitely see that the finisher skills is really where it's at for both of these characters. And then the third one increases active skill 2 damage. I don't really know if this is really the best for either one of these characters in all reality. Like really for Nakaruru, if you take her to A5 and unlock her concentrate, she actually uses her first skill over and over and over. So really it would have been better for active skill 1, or I don't know. I don't really think this stone's really the greatest for them, but we'll see how it plays out in the future. And then obviously for Haramaru, it's going to be the exact same stones. And then you go into the banner. Well, before we go into the banner, let's talk about the KOF pass real quick. The KOF pass, guys, is the same old, right? It's it's a pretty good pass, right? You're going to spend about 55 American dollars in total if you buy both of these things. And you're going to get some summons. You're going to get about 4,000 rubies or so. Yeah, you'll get a little over 4,000. You get 4,000 from here. And then you'll get another 400 here. So you get 4,400 rubies from here. You'll get a BS SS selector where you can choose between these characters. This is what should have been in that dice game. In all honesty, guys, that would have been way better, but maybe they're trying to find a way to incentivize people to buy the KOF pass. But really, the KOF pass is actually a pretty good deal because you're going to get a lot of summons, which are worth rubies, and then you're going to get the 4,400 rubies on top of it, at least in my humble opinion. And then when you go into the characters here, or go into the card banner, right? This card here, guys, is really only going to be good mainly for Haramaru and Nakaruru. Because again, guys, the way their kits are designed, they're really set up for using their finisher skills. For them, it's going to be OP. I tried this with Rugal. No. It wasn't near as good as just say a regular Cosmic card that was transcended. And then you get into the 3PGs, and Haramaru's got, the critical rate, critical damage, which is insane for him. Beautiful animation. And then Nakaruru's actually resets the finisher skill cooldown, which is actually pretty OP for this character. Again, guys, their kits are really based around doing their finishers. And I don't know why I clicked out of there, but let's click on Peaceful World Type. So this set, guys, is specifically going to be really great for Nakaruru and Haramaru. I really don't think for other characters it's going to be super, super OP because of the way this thing is lined up. So, obviously, you're going to get the critical rate, you get the increased balloon element, green fighter CP, so which is really going to help your CP. And then you have the 30% chance to charge the power slot, 5 power charge rate slots, right? Well, also it gives an increased attack by 15% and critical damage by 20% whenever an extreme fighter expends power. Expends power means that, you got your 5 bars of PG gain at the bottom of the screen. Whenever you use your finisher skill, which will expend power, you'll use power, right? You'll relinquish your power more or less. That's when your critical damage is going to jump up and go up to 100% because it stacks up to 5 times. With a character like Nakaruru and Haramaru, again, the way their kits are designed, this is actually going to be very, very OP for those specific characters and any other characters in the future that use their finishers over and over and over, whether it's their default or their 3PG. It's actually quite insane, but it's only going to be for the EX fighters. Always remember that. So it's for now, this set, in my humble opinion, is really just going to be good for those 2 characters and maybe future characters. Right, but as it stands right now, it's really only good for those 2 characters. But I will be testing on Rugal, but I really don't think it's going to make a huge difference. I actually think the Rugal set or the Athena set will be better for him specifically, and probably even better for Jin, but Jin does already have the Tekken set. And then we go into the characters, right? Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about them, guys. I'm not going to read every little thing here. But what I do want to show you guys is that, here with Nakaruru, whenever you take up to A5, you do decrease the skill cooldown of Cling to Mamahaha skill, which is a wonderful name, by 100% for 4 seconds. And that is her first skill, right? That's her first skill. So it's kind of weird that one stone increases the second skill, active skill damage. That's kind of weird because you're going to be using if you have your concentrating lock, you're going to be using that over and over and over. And whenever if you choose to do so, you can use her as a support and get the critical rate by 12%, critical damage by 35%, which is pretty damn nice. Now, the reason that I say those card sets are going to be really insane for someone like Nakaruru is this right here, guys. Decreased finisher skill cooldown by 2 seconds when an active skill used. You have 3 active skills, guys, which means that when you use those 3 skills, your finisher timing is going to drop by 6 seconds. Whenever an awakened skill is used, you can sit there and run through your 3-2-1, 3-2-1, 3-2-1, run through your active skills, and you'll just keep decreasing the skill cooldown of her finisher skill. And because of that, that damn set is going to be OP on her because you can just literally spam her finisher over and over and over and get all the damage from it. It's actually quite insane to play the character. I'll just show you guys in a later video. She is OP as hell. Even without that set, She is OP as hell, my friends, right? Plus the godly leadership. And then we get into Harumaru. Again, Harumaru, guys, when you take this character to A5, it's really when you're going to see some nuttiness, okay? Because he's going to gain maximum power every 1 second for 10 seconds and decrease active and finisher skill cooldowns by 80%. So there again, guys, he can do his finisher over and over and over, right? He'll gain maximum power for 10 seconds. So he's just going to be destroying, especially with that set. It is going to be absolutely insane. And then when you click on this here, increase active skill and finisher skill effectiveness for 10 seconds when using Limitless, which is this skill right here. It just means a whole lot more damage, guys. It's actually freaking nuts. And then when you look at his finisher skill, his default, this is another reason, I should have showed this on Nakaruru as well, but with his finisher skill, he increases finisher skill damage by 35% upon use. This stacks up to 3 times, which means this can go up to 105% extra damage on his finisher. Think about that, right? 100% chance to reset cooldowns by successful attack. So after you do your finisher, you're going to have your 3 skills available pretty much exact every time because it's a 100% chance to do this, guys. And this finisher skill actually resets when tagging out. So every time you bring in Harumaru and you use like his A5, like you use his Limitless, this, you're going to get this every single time. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. And just to give you guys an idea of how strong he is, one of my buddies, one of his guild mates, actually was able to score around 500 billion in guild raid with Harumaru at A5. 500 billion. Now, I don't know whether or not he's going to be stronger than Jin or Rugal yet, but that is absolutely insane, guys. That is ridiculous damage at A5, and I really feel like Harumaru is going to be one of those characters that he needs to be A5 to really shine. Doesn't mean he isn't strong, because guys, even at A1, he's absolutely nuts. This dude is godly. He really is. I know I say that all the time, but he really is. He's absolutely insane. And then his leadership also bumps up that finisher skill damage, right? And just to go back to Nakaruru here real quick, when you look at her finisher skill, remember guys, you can spam the living crap out of this thing, right? You can spam the living crap out of this. This thing actually gives her, one, it's going to reset your active skills, 90% chance it's pretty much going to reset every single time. And then also after you do a finisher, and then also it increases critical rate by 20% and critical damage by 80% upon use, right? That is nuts. You're getting all these buffs. Like these two characters are centered around doing their finishers over and over and over. And that card set that's in the banner is actually going to buff them up tremendously. It is absolutely going to destroy on these characters. Now, with the Rugal set, both of them are insane. Nakaruru here, guys, actually scored at A1 around 7 billion in guild raid for me. 7 billion complete solo. I'll show you guys that in another video. Maybe not 7 billion. Maybe I didn't record that run, but she did get 7 billion on Discord last night. And Harumaru here gets around 5.3, 5.4 billion on my account at A1. Both these characters at A1 on my account. 5.1 billion complete solo is absolutely nuts. Neither one of these characters have the dust to break down the meter against Rugal, right? So there's a lot of decreased damage received that Rugal is actually, he's not taking near as much damage. And yet both these characters could still get over 5 billion apiece, which is nuts at A1. They are absolutely insane. And people ask me whether or not they really should pull for these characters. Listen, guys, anytime a new banner comes into the game, even with a character like Dual Lawn, yeah, it is worth pulling, especially if you're a newer player, because if you get one of these characters, even if you have them at A1, they're going to destroy. But just make sure that you get their 3PG. If you don't get the 3PG for them, they will not be near as good. For a brand new player, they'll still be really good. But if you really want them to progress a little bit more, do a little bit more for you, you really need to have that 3PG for either one of these characters. And that's going to make them absolutely insane, especially Harumaru, well, really even Nakaruru, because, Nakaru's got that nice long 3PG animation, and Harumaru's got that extra critical rate and critical damage, which really bumps up his damage. I will be showing you guys some runs with these two characters in the future, but I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts. And so far, the update's pretty damn good. I am disappointed in the dice game. It really isn't the greatest. And honestly, the tower, isn't really the greatest either. Really the characters are the ones that are kind of the shining lights of the update, because even at A1, guys, even at level 90, they really are just freaking strong as hell. So let's go ahead and do a quick little pull. Why not, right? Let's do a quick little pull for one of these characters, right? We got some free rubies today, so let's see what happens. Maybe I'll get lucky, right? And I still got a selector for one of the fighters, so I can A2 one of them, which is pretty cool. That means I can get that second stone. All right, so nothing, no surprise there, no surprise there. No big deal, okay? Get me a little bit closer. I mean, honestly, I was pretty happy with this banner because I had a lot of good luck. I know some of you out there didn't have any luck at all, and that's just kind of the way, the dice rolls, right? No pun intended. Sometimes we just have a lot of bad luck. You guys have seen plenty of videos of me getting completely demolished and screwed. And finally, I had a banner where actually going to one pity actually paid off quite a bit. So guys, let me know who you would like to see first, whether it's Haramaro or Nakaruru. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GG+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody.